Hello and welcome to another episode of the Biased Football Review. I'm Cameron and I'm joined again by Lewis and Jake. We're going to talk about last weekend's Premier League matches. Starting with, I think, Liverpool and City.
Yeah, big game at the top.
Yeah.
Big game. Anyone watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it. It was pretty frantic.
Yeah.
I think you could tell it's the two best teams going head to head. Obviously, Liverpool were far from full strength. Missing Alisson, Konate, Robertson, obviously, even though he's not played much this season. Salah was on the bench. And to be fair...
Trent
as well, yeah. To be fair, apart from the first 25 minutes, I'd say Liverpool were a better team.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Which is crazy when you consider City were at full strength. Obviously, I'm sure you saw De Bruyne's clever corner.
Yeah. It's weird though. If you're gonna City, Liverpool, like two of the best teams in England over the last couple of years, the game finishes 1-1. You'd expect it'd be Haaland one goal and Salah the other. For John Stones and McAllister to score their goals, it's kind of like it doesn't feel like City, Liverpool.
Yeah, but I guess in some ways they're kind of the unsung heroes, aren't they, of each team?
Yeah.
You know, Stones has been a revelation in that role he plays where he steps into the midfield, and then McAllister kind of, as well as I can't even say it. Szoboszlai fixed Liverpool's midfield from last season. Yeah. So, yeah. And and
Endo as well.
Endo, yeah, he's gone under the radar. But yeah, it was reminiscent of the Trent corner against Barcelona for me. I was like, I was having flashbacks to was it 2019, I think it was. I think City deserved the lead when they got the lead. In the first, they were the better team, and the game was going how I thought it was going to go. Because when the lineups came out, I was like, oh, I think Liverpool are in trouble here, just because of how weakened they were, and City were at full strength. But Haaland and Foden were quiet throughout the game.
Yeah.
Liverpool did really well. Haaland didn't really get a kick. Foden had a few moments, but I think out on that right wing, it's not his best position, and I really hope we don't play him there in the Euros. Because
he won't be playing right wing in the Euros. We've got Saka there.
I hope we find his best position, because if you don't put him in his best position, he can be quiet. But yeah, the equaliser was a bit of madness from Ederson.
Yeah. And unfortunately, a bit of a mistake from Ake. A bit sad, because I love Ake. But...
Well, yeah, I suppose Ake was more to blame. But Ederson
he wasn't. Ederson was more to blame.
Ake put him in the position, I suppose, is what you could say.
Yeah. But still, it's just unnecessary from Ederson.
He was so far wide.
He was going nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought he was going to fake to kind of get the ball and just kind of pull out, but he proper went through. Was it Nunes? I think it was. Was it Nunes? No.
Was it Diaz?
I
think it was. I want to say it was Diaz.
But yeah, and now he's injured, isn't he? He's injured himself.
Yeah.
So he got sent off and he's injured himself. So.
And we've got a friendly against Brazil coming up.
And so City might be without him for a few games, which could be integral. I think.
Who's gonna be in goal for Brazil in the friendly against?
Will be Alisson,
England. Well, he's injured as well.
Is he injured as well? Neto.
That'll be an easy England win,
I want to talk about Diaz as well.
He had how many chances and he just couldn't score.
Yeah, everything's there with Diaz as well. He's got everything apart from that final. It's a shame.
Yeah.
But he's basically a mirror of Nunes. He's got that raw natural ability, but he just can't find. He had three at least opportunities where he should have scored.
Yeah.
And in a game like that, you just have to be clinical. If they even chances fall to Salah, even to Nunes in the form he's in at the moment,
I
think Liverpool win that game. And then there was obviously the big call at the end for a penalty. I'm not sure what you thought about that.
I think that should have been a
the
penalty.
high foot. I do as well. You can't be doing that in the box.
Yeah,
studs.
but I think
studs
I
to, like,
see
the,
where I see
the
where
high
VAR.
shoulder as well.
I see why VAR hasn't given it though, because I mean the
Yeah,
ref hasn't given
I
on the
do.
pitch. He's in a good position to see it.
Mm.
He gets the ball before he goes through the player, but I mean he does go through the
Yeah.
player. I mean it's like,
And it's also, you don't really want to spoil a game like that and have it won by something like that. But
and I don't think Liverpool fans can complain about the penalty, seeing as the number of chances that Diaz had and he missed. Like, you can't be relying on 2 penalties to beat Man City when you're dominating that much.
no. And I think it's a better point for Liverpool because of how weakened they were, even though they did bring on Salah.
I mean, it's best for Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, arguably, it was a great result for them. Obviously, they won that game of the weekend as well.
Yeah.
So,
Still think Liverpool go on and win the league, though. I don't think City. I think City are pretty much out of it now.
Yeah, I think getting that result against City, that like I'd pick them to win.
what, you
it
thought
now.
City had to win that game?
No, well, I think Liverpool needed something from that game more than anything, and
I
getting
think-
a point is huge at this stage. With,
I think
with
the,
the, race as tight as it is.
performance is why I don't think City will win it now, rather than the result.
Yeah, because they were
Yeah.
I think Arsenal go to the Etihad and win.
they were underwhelming. Yeah,
I think Arsenal go to the Etihad and win, but then lose against Tottenham away, and that's why Liverpool win the league.
what do you think's missing for City then? Do you think it's just
I don't know.
they've won 4 in a row and they can't quite
Bit
reach
of
their level?
complacency, maybe, you know.
Well, I mean, they're still, what are they, 1 point off top? Is that complacency? Or they're
I
just
mean,
not quite...
I'd say yes, because they're not. I mean, that's not City performance you expect at this point of a title race, right? Like they just don't have that. I don't know. I guess like edge that they've had in other seasons.
No, but I mean, it's still a point away at Anfield, though, isn't it? I mean, a point at Anfield, most teams, I feel like most teams would take that.
Yeah, but I
that's
mean, I
true.
think when you look at the teams both sides put out, and you know, you just expect. A
Yeah, I
better
think
performance and
that's
result
the big kind
for that.
of what you have to look at, how weak Liverpool were, and to go toe to toe with a full strength City team. Obviously, I know Ederson went off, but you know they were at full strength. They had Rodri, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne played. He was quiet, apart from the corner.
He got subbed off and then got annoyed about it.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
didn't really contribute much apart from a corner. And yeah, it was a quick thinking corner, but no, he wasn't as incisive. And he wasn't getting on the ball, dictating the game.
Was it a quick thinking corner, or was it something that was planned? I think it was planned. I think it was.
Yeah, but he still has to execute it, though, doesn't he? You know, pinpoint.
I mean, yeah.
There was like a call for a foul on McAllister, though.
No,
Getting kind of blocked off, but I thought that would have been harsh.
no. I think McAllister was pulling whoever the City player. I think he was pulling him away from it rather than the other way around. So he was, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it obviously it leaves it open. You know, I think if Liverpool had lost,
The best result for a neutral.
yeah. I mean, I would have liked a winner, but so Arsenal weren't on top. But yeah, it was an entertaining game. I enjoyed it. Hopefully the title race does go down to the last game. That's what we all want to see, isn't it? We don't want to see someone win it with
Yeah. Well,
weeks to go. But-
history will show that Liverpool's going to finish second. So because
Oh yeah, that Wolves
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, I think it's last 3 seasons the team that's played Wolves on the final day has finished second, and the time before that the team finished 4th, and the time before that they finished second again. So
Yeah. I think
and
obviously
Liverpool have them on the final day, finish second.
the talk around that game was that it it potentially could be Klopp versus Guardiola for the last time. How would you reflect on that rivalry? I think for me, I just think it's been too friendly, to be honest.
Yeah,
I would have
yeah.
loved a bit more bite to it. I know they respect each other. I know but it's just we want to see a bit of bite, a bit Wenger Ferguson,
Wenger, Fergie, yeah.
Mourinho,
Yeah.
we want to see.
Fergie Benitez. Like you want to see like these rivalries. They're not just the 90 minutes of football. It's the whole. You're meant to like dislike each other, and they don't dislike each other, do they? They're hugging before the game, hugging after.
Yeah.
Players are hugging in the tunnel. So I think on the pitch it's been a great rivalry, but I would have liked a little bit more kind of bite off the pitch, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the way the game's going now, that's not really kind of seen as the thing you do. Start slagging off your
But it's what all
opposition
football
manager
fans,
in the press.
What all
But it's
football
what
fans want.
well, it's what I grew up with. So it's hard when you're kind of got this biggest rivalry. And Arteta's got a bit of bite to him, which I like. But he can take it overboard sometimes. But he has quite a few times.
Here we go.
But yeah, I think great rivalry. I mean, the football has always been fascinating. The tactical battles, the Gegen press against the tiki taka, and it'll be sad if that's the last game they play against each other. And I'm pretty sure Klopp's got the upper hand on in the rivalry, head to head.
Yeah,
I think it's one more win, same number of draws, and then one less.
Yeah, which is very impressive. Obviously, you're getting the whole talk of Klopp versus Pep. What's Klopp had? What's Pep had in terms of money to spend and everything? But I think it's a lot closer than people think. But
yeah, I just rolled my eyes at you because it's just like Liverpool
that's
fans
a debate
like
for another day.
Liverpool fans like to pretend they just they haven't spent any money.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, come on.
They're working with like a £10 million budget every summer. That's
Yeah.
the way they act, isn't it? So can we talk about Spurs now then? Absolutely.
if we must.
Wow, what a performance! 4-0.
Yeah.
No one saw that coming. Tell you that.
No,
No one
didn't.
put a bet on
I did
4-0
not,
Spurs. But bizarrely, Emery changed his formation, which I was confused about.
Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe they were just focusing on the Conference League, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, he changed to a 3-5-2. I think to try and nullify Spurs' front three, maybe go 1v1, put another man in midfield, cut out the because Sarr,
because your
Basuma and
fullbacks go into midfield, so maybe they were
the fullbacks come in as well. So I think you wanted another body, but it just didn't work for them. I mean, in the first half, you could argue it did work for them. They kind of shut us out. We didn't really create much. But
half-time Ange must have just changed something.
But they weren't a threat like Watkins. Literally, I think he had like 3 touches in the first 25 minutes. It was, they couldn't get out. They'd win the ball, but they'd be quite deep, and there was no out ball.
Yeah.
So I think going into the second half, I was pretty confident that we'd, and obviously, Braden Johnson again stepping up. I mean, he's had quite a tough time at Spurs actually, in terms of, I think he's deactivated his Instagram comments quite a few times, due to the abuse he gets, which is obviously,
Which I don't understand at all. Like he's
understand
better
it
than
either.
Kulusevski.
I mean,
You might disagree.
that's an argument for enough. Well, he's different. He offers something different, I think. Kulusevski, I've said many times, Kulusevski's got everything, but if he's up against the fullback who's quicker than him, what really can he do? He's not going to beat. I think, was it Moreno who played? I think it was Moreno.
I think Moreno got subbed on.
Or was he subbed on? So it's either Digne or Moreno, but he's not going to beat them for pace. So he's either going to have to come inside, pass it on, look for 1-2s, and it's just a bit more predictable, isn't it? Whereas Johnson, I think he started on the left actually, and started him on the left. Werner was obviously benched, and he looked good on the left actually. Son up front, I do like Son playing centrally.
Yeah.
I think he gives us, obviously he's finishing. Like the goal he scored was, I don't know if you saw it. Great finish. But I think we looked. I mean, I think the score's a little bit. Obviously, the red card. I don't know if you saw the red card.
Yeah.
People were telling me it wasn't a red card. I was like,
That's a red card all day.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I saw. I
was seeing things like, it's just a trip, and I was like,
when I saw it live,
it?
I was like, it could be a red card. I think it's a bit harsh.
He's
and then I
literally
saw
him.
it again, and I was like, oh wait, no, that is a red
no
card.
attempt to get the ball. I'll see people like, oh yeah, he's just tripped him up. I'm like, what trips have you seen? Like that's not a that's a kick. He's literally obviously he's frustrated. They were 2-0 down at the time, but yeah, that kind of killed the game really.
Yeah, at that point, it was over, and like there was no chance Villa were getting back into it.
Yeah, and then Son scored the third, and then Werner got another one late in the game. So I think that's 2 for him now. 2-2, I think it is. So yeah, I think obviously we're in March now, and obviously he's on loan. So I think we'll have to make that decision pretty soon of whether we want to.
Do you want to keep him?
Activate? Yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't think he'd start. I don't think he's. Because I'd hope in the summer we're going to strengthen.
Yeah, and also get rid of some of the deadwood.
So I'm not sure he'd be a guaranteed starter, but with a few injuries, I'd be confident with him coming in and be like, yeah, he can do a job.
Would you rather get him in permanently or Solanke?
Or if I could only have one?
Yeah.
There's a right answer here.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because Richarlison's been on form. Like, no matter what you want to say about Richarlison, he has been scoring goals. What was it, like 8 at one point, 7 and 7 at one point?
Yeah.
So it's tough. And obviously Son can play centrally.
Yeah, if I was a Spurs fan, which is hard to believe, I would probably say Werner.
Yeah, I mean,
not
I think
because
we
I
have
want
to
Solanke
stick
to stay at Bournemouth or anything.
I think we have to stick with Richarlison. We have to bank on him being the number 9.
But also Werner can play on the wing, and him and
Yeah.
Son can interchange and whatever. Whereas Solanke is kind of just a number 9. He can't really play.
Yeah,
on
I
the
mean,
wing.
I think Richarlison's because I don't like Son on the left. I think he's better down the middle.
He's played most of his career down the left.
I know, but he's lost a yard of pace. So I think he prefers centrally. He doesn't have to run as much, and he can save his energy for, the most important, making runs in the box and scoring goals. Whereas when you're on the left, he's got to run at plays. He's got to beat players. But I don't think that's as much his game anymore. Because he is 30. He's not 25. I mean, he's getting on. So I think it's tough. I mean, but then it was working when Richarlison was up front and Son was on the left. So
You finishing 4th?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I saw a stat like Villa have conceded twice as many goals in like the latter in the middle set of games in the league than they did in the first.
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure what's happening there.
I think it's just that teams have figured them
they're
out now.
conceding too many goals at home.
I think teams have just figured them out.
Yeah.
I think you play them once.
I mean,
first time.
United went there and won a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that's
And,
that's
yeah.
I don't know when we have them at Villa Park, but
you'll probably go 3-0 down and come back.
yeah. I mean, we lost 3-0 last season at Villa Park, so.
But no, I think obviously we've got Fulham on Saturday. I think if we can win that game,
You've got a game on Saturday?
yeah.
Mm.
I think if we win that game, I think we're in a good position. Because obviously we'll be a point, but we've got a game in hand on Villa.
I'd like you to win that game because Fulham are, I don't know how many points above us. I think they're on the same number of points, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, I think they were recently. So yeah.
Win that game and then we'll have to beat Wolves in our game in hand.
So yeah, I think all in all, it was a very. Obviously, there's a bit of bite between Villa and Spurs. I don't because like you got that. You had Matty Cash. He had that incident where he injured Bentancur when he was just coming back from injury.
No one
Spurs
goes
fans,
out. No one goes
Hogan.
out to injure.
I know, but it was just very. Obviously, McGinn was literally kicked Udogie, and if you saw it, he kind of got up to have a go at him and then went back down. I don't know if you saw that. He kind of. I think either he didn't realise how hurt he was, or he was thinking, "Oh, I better come down here, otherwise I might only get a yellow." Or...
No, I think he just didn't realise how hurt he was.
No, yeah, that's what I think it was. But my mate's going, "Oh, look, he's fine. He's getting up," and it's like, well, if you, I've done that before.
In the moment.
I've done that before, where you kind of you're playing, you get kicked, and then you just get up instinctively, and then you think, "Oh, actually,
Yeah.
that's really sore," and then you kind of go back down. But no, all in all, very happy day at Villa Park. Can't complain.
Someone else who can't complain? Cameron, Man United.
You say that, but I am about to complain.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
a boring game, wasn't it? Don't know
Yeah.
if
It
you
was just a
watched
bad performance, I think. It's a win you take, 2-0. Like, wins aren't easy to come by when you're Man United at the minute. But this performance just wasn't there, I mean, 2 penalties, and there wasn't really much else besides that. It's a weird formation from Ten Hag. Listed as 4-2-4. I think McTominay.
Like a FIFA formation, isn't it?
Yeah.
4-2-4. He's play that
I
on
don't,
FIFA.
I don't really
You
know
didn't
what
even have
the-
you didn't
the
even
thought
like
process
a striker on the pitch, and yet you had 2 strikers, and there was Bruno
yeah.
and McTominay. It's so
Yeah.
weird.
And I mean, Rashford I think he was on the left. I think he started. It's just a weird. I don't know what the thought behind those tactics were. But I mean, I think if Everton had some goals in them, it could have been a very different game. They had a lot of shots. I think more shots than United again.
I've got a stat for you about that. Everton, they were the fifth side in fifth side in 6 games to have at least 20 shots against United. So
Yeah, that sounds
you know,
about right.
5 in 6 games, you're conceding 20 plus shots. I mean,
And these are against
that's
you know
madness. They're not
teams
even
you
the
would
top
say
teams in the
lesser
league.
teams. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, mid-table, lower end teams, and you know, getting outshot. I get like if some of these teams were clinical,
Yeah.
like we would be in trouble.
Well, that's
you
the
know?
thing against the better sides.
Well, yeah,
They'll make you pay,
it-
won't they?
You know, Liverpool on Sunday, it's not really the performance you want going into that. I don't think. You know,
No.
even with Liverpool as injured as they are, like you know, like that's a worrying game. I think. But I don't know what you guys think about the game.
Well, I
Who you
saw
see
a
of it?
few
was
complaints about Garnacho diving
yeah.
for the penalties. I'm not sure what you think. I thought they were pens.
They were both pens, yeah.
I thought they
think
were.
I think the ref got all the big decisions correct.
Yeah. But I
was
think
Garnacho
I
looking
think it's
for it?
just the
Maybe.
reaction from like because he goes down and he's like you know
Yeah, it's
giving it
a-
all injured, and then
yeah,
as soon as the pen's
theatrical.
given, he's like you know cheering, smiling like instantly. So it's
Yeah.
just
I mean,
the
he's
way
not
that-
injured. We know he's not injured,
Well,
but he's not
no.
diving.
And then what was
There
it? Did
wasn't a
Bruno
dive.
take the first one?
Yeah, Bruno took the first
And then
one.
kind of Rashford got like a pity penalty. It kind of seemed like it was a bit kind of, oh, you have one.
Yeah,
You know, you've
sort of.
you've had a lot
I
of
mean,
stick.
He's done
have a
that a
penalty.
few times this season. You
Yeah.
know, Bruno giving up a penalty just to get Rashford
Which is
going.
you'd
which
think
is,
he
you
wouldn't
know,
do that, but the character that Bruno is. But
Yeah,
I've got a stat about Bruno, actually.
Oh, go on.
I saw. Martin Odegaard could pass the ball 150 times in a row to the opposition team, and he'd still have
So
a
I saw
higher
that,
pass
I saw that.
accuracy this
Oh,
season
wow.
than Bruno.
Yeah, I think I did see that one actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is.
And sorry, who put Odegaard in the overrated
Yeah.
11?
I did also have Bruno in there. So,
Yeah, we all
I just
did.
want to say that.
So what is Bruno's like 60, 70% or something?
No idea.
Odegaard's must be in the 90s, surely.
Yeah, but you know, Odegaard's better than Bruno.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone can argue with that anymore.
Touching on Everton, I mean, they should be worried, shouldn't they?
I think so.
No,
5 points from 11 games.
no, they got
Is
us
that
next.
not worrying? Is that not worrying form though? I mean, you think?
It-
I mean,
it
obviously they've had
is.
the
But Luton can't hold a lead, as we saw.
no.
Nottingham Forest
True.
are pretty bad right now
True.
as well.
But I just always think that you should never rely on other teams.
Yeah,
I always think you should do
Yeah.
the business in your games, and Everton aren't really doing that at the moment, are they? They can't seem to score a goal. I mean, what's happened to Calvert-Lewin? I mean, I remember at one point he was meant to be like the next big England striker.
yeah. Scored like 16 goals or 19 goals, I think, in one season, something like that.
Yeah.
And he's just disappeared.
I know he's had lots of
Injuries.
injury problems,
Yeah,
which has kind of disrupted his development. But yeah, I feel like if they're gonna, even like next season, if they're gonna start winning games, I feel like they have to get him playing. They have to get McNeil playing because Everton they've got some good players, but they
Yeah.
just don't seem to. Maybe it's Dyche. I mean, maybe he's just not. But I don't know. As long as they stay in the league, I guess he'll be happy with that, won't they?
yeah.
Their
and
fans won't be, but
it looks like the points deductions for them and Forest might not come into effect until next season. Because they-
yeah. I mean,
because the appeal-
I've not heard anything about it, so
and then they're going to appeal it as well. And I think
Mm.
by that point, it'll be the end of the season. So
yeah. So yeah, I think all in all, a pretty underwhelming game. 3
Yeah.
points, isn't it?
It's 3 points. You
Take
take
the
3
3
points.
that is how you would describe every Man United win this season, though, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
underwhelming. Somehow they've managed to win.
Yeah.
They've been performing badly, but they get like a one
Yeah.
goal win, 2 goal win. Like it's just
It's more worrying for Ten Hag, I'd say.
I mean,
'cause
I've seen a lot of
you know,
speculation, haven't there, about Ten Hag,
yeah.
about going back to Ajax, maybe. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I've
in a
seen that.
poor spot, Ajax, so I'm not sure why he'd go back there. But
I mean, it's
Um,
never a good sign when you win a game and there's maybe even more rumours of you being moved on in the week.
I mean, yeah, I've
following.
seen lots of reports that Ineos are basically he's on trial basically for his
Pretty
job.
much. I think it's going to be depending on how the rest of the season goes. Because he's out of contract next year anyway. So
Yeah.
it's like
They're not extending it, are they? I don't think.
there's no way he's getting extended.
But who do you get? I mean, Southgate? Would you take Southgate?
I wouldn't. I mean, I think
Even if you
You
won
know,
the Euros.
even if you won the year, I mean, I think I want to see Man
we're
United
not
playing.
winning. We're not winning the Euros.
I would love to see. I'd love to see the meltdown of Man United fans if Southgate
No,
became
I-
the man.
the meltdown of Mark Goldbridge.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be
I mean,
brilliant.
I want to see good football.
Who
and-
do you
and
want?
not
Who
really
do
getting
you
that
want?
from- Well, that's the thing. Like, I just
Zidane.
don't know. I mean, well, that would be the ideal. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
If I
it's not-
was
it's
if
not
I
that
was
would
be the ideal,
Ineos,
wouldn't it?
I'd probably go of who's available. I'll probably go Nagelsmann.
Yeah, I
Young
wouldn't be opposed to
manager,
that.
has a philosophy, should never have been sacked from Bayern. I don't know what they were thinking. Obviously, he fell out with the higher ups at Bayern because,
Yeah.
he did better there than Tuchel did.
Yeah.
So I know Tuchel was in at the end of the season, but I think I've read a lot of things about Zidane. He doesn't want to manage in England, so I don't think Zidane isn't a possibility.
Yeah, no,
Would you take Gary O'Neill?
No.
Would you take Iraola?
I've seen Graham Potter linked. I mean, I can't see how he gets.
I think that it feels like he's only linked because of the the British English connection, and with the talk of Dan Ashworth coming in as well.
De Zerbi.
See, I would take De Zerbi in the future. I don't think he's ready
I don't
for a
think
big
he's
job
done
yet.
enough yet to get the
I
Man
think
United job.
no.
I think if he
needs
goes,
some
it'll be
more
just
time.
the same as Graham Potter.
Yeah.
Not go well.
Yeah.
There's too many mistakes in De Zerbi's management for a big job yet. I think he needs a couple more years at Brighton to.
I'd go
to
Nagelsmann,
kind of
but I
win it.
think he's German manager, isn't he? So that's a bit difficult, isn't it? Because he won't get a pre-season because he'll be at the Euros. So in terms of transfers and that,
I don't think the Man United manager will for much longer have any influence on the transfers,
Yeah.
seeing how well it went with Ten Hag.
that's who I'd go with. Of who's available, Tuchel. I mean, he'll be available in the summer.
I would take him as well. I think. I'd rather Nagelsmann, but I would.
Tuchel's a great manager. He's not gone well from at Bayern.
I mean, I kind of want Tuchel to be England manager after Southgate.
I was going to say for Bournemouth, then I was like, blimey, that's a
No.
Ambitious.
No, I want Iraola as Bournemouth
ambitious.
manager.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think Tuchel, Nagelsmann, they'd be my picks. I wouldn't be worried as a fan if either of them two came in.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
I'd be optimistic.
Yeah.
anyone else, and I'd be like,
I think optimistic for Man United fans is a bit too much, but
No, but you know what I mean. Even if you're terrible, when Conte came in for Spurs, I was buzzing, and look how that went. Didn't really... When Mourinho came in, I was like, Jose Mourinho is managing Tottenham. I was like, what?
We're going to win all the trophies.
But yeah. But you'll probably end up with Gareth Southgate, so it's all good.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's just our luck, isn't it?
Bellingham will carry us to maybe not a win, but maybe a final or semi-final or something.
Yeah.
We'll get knocked out to a wonder goal or something. They'll be like, okay, yeah, he did all right, and then he'll get the Man United job.
We'll just lose to France. It's always just lose to France.
The first decent team we'll play and we'll go out. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
Moving on to Bournemouth then, Jake.
Which one are we going to start
Well, yeah,
with?
we've got two games. We'll start with the first one.
Please don't.
Sheffield United,
2-2.
2-0 down.
Oh, yeah.
Thoughts, please.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, you ask most Bournemouth fans and they'll say it's the Bournemouth way to draw that game. I mean, last season we lost at home to Southampton, who came bottom of the league. We lost away at Leeds. We lost that game 4-3. We lose against pretty bad teams and then we go and beat Man United 3-0. It doesn't make much sense. But, we can't complain because we weren't very good.
I mean, they were both poor goals you conceded, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean...
One of them was a Neto mistake.
Yeah, I mean...
Wasn't it like a rebound? And
both of them were kind of a Neto mistake. I feel like he should have really...
Be a bit more commanding.
Kept hold of the first... Because for the first goal, he parried a shot straight to one of their players and they scored. And then the second one, he punched it into Solanke's head.
So there was, a bit unlucky then to be 2-0 down, would you say? Or was it deserved?
Yeah, I'd say it's a bit unlucky. I mean, because of the penalty as well. I think that's just really unfortunate. We had over 30 shots. We just weren't clear the ball enough.
Wasn't the penalty a bit harsh?
No. Do
you think?
I think it was Tom Davies, who conceded the penalty. He got the ball, but he went straight through the back.
Yeah,
of
that's what I thought. He did get the ball,
but he went straight through the back. He got the player first. I'm like, you can't do that.
Yeah,
in the
I
box,
guess.
you can't go to ground in the box and get the player like that. It's just always a penalty.
That thing happened to Solanke where we've all done it when we've taken a pen where you kind of hit your left foot.
I've never
right
been
foot.
on pens, so.
Well, it's happened to me a fair few times.
I've done it before.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
And then at that point, when that happens, you must be thinking, right, it's not our day today.
Yeah, pretty much.
2-0 down, you missed the penalty.
Well, we missed the penalty before we went 2-0 down. That was the first.
Oh, yeah. Oh, was it 0-0?
Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh,
it was like I think it was like the 7th minute or something.
Okay, so you missed a penalty, then you 1-0 down, then you're 2-0 down. You're thinking, right.
I'm just thinking, like, at this point, it's embarrassing. But then, you know, we had so many shots. It's the same story every single game that we don't win. Is we have so many shots, we still can't score. We've had 3 big problems this season. First one is our wingers being clinical. They just haven't been clinical enough. Then I'd say inconsistency in our defence has been the second big problem. I mean, we've had so many injuries in our defence that we've been basically rotating players in and out
And
all
not
season.
playing Billing is your third.
No, and the third one is not finding our strongest number 10. Because we've had Clivert there. He's probably been I'd say, probably the best one that we've had. But then he's more of a winger. He kind of drifts out
Better
wide.
on the left, isn't he?
Yeah, he drifts out wide. He doesn't really play that close to Solanke. Then we've had Billing there, but he doesn't fit the style. I don't think he is particularly.
He's not a playmaker, Billing. He's like a box-to-box centre mid, isn't he?
He's been better as a number 10. Like last season, he was better as a number 10, but he doesn't play like that close to Solanke. And then we've had Alex Scott, who again he's not a number 10. He's a number 8, and we've had to put him in number 10. I think when we played against Luton, we found who our number 10 is going to be, and that's Unal when he came on at half time.
Or you might need a number 10 in the summer.
Yeah, or we might need a number 10 in the summer. But yeah, those have been our biggest problems this season, and I mean, I think the clinicality just showed against Sheffield United. They and against Luton as well. They both were so much more clinical than us. I mean, we can talk about Ouattara's header against Sheffield United. That was a really good header.
It was a good header, yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously you got back in the game. You got the point. Can you be happy about that, or are you still fuming that you were 2-0 down to Sheffield United?
I mean, at the beginning of the game, I'd always say we need to win this game. It's like they're really bad, but then
They are bad. They played well though.
They played well, but then like at the end, you're like, okay, fair enough, we got a point. Like, I'll take that. After what happened in that game, I'll take a point, and then move on to Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, well, just a note on that. I did listen to Iriola's post-match interview after the Sheffield United game.
Oh, right,
And you know, obviously, I did have my thoughts on him. We discussed this at the start of the season, but I think I think it'd be fair to say he's grown into the position. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, I suppose.
I think he's a lot more confident in interviews now when I watch him than he was when he in the early
Maybe
weeks.
he'd heard horror stories about the British media.
Maybe, but I just feel like
Maybe his English wasn't as.
I feel like he's grown into
confident.
it and he's got a lot more comfortable because you could see he was angry in the post-match.
Yeah,
He was definitely annoyed, and he said, it's not a good result, which I think is good because he's saying, the standards are we need to be winning this game.
I mean, we do need to be winning that game.
But he also did say, he values the comeback, he values the fight, which I thought was a pretty good message. Not a good result, but given we were 2-0 down.
Yeah, I mean, last season we wouldn't have either of the 2 games. We wouldn't have come back and won or drawn.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, the players, I don't know, they've changed.
So, yeah, I mean, a point when you're 2-0 down is never a bad result. And then, obviously, because we're recording this a bit later in the week, we've got the Luton Bournemouth game, which I think
An all-time classic.
Contender for game of the season, yeah.
It's criminal that you couldn't watch it legally anywhere in the UK.
Oh, well, that's a whole other debate, isn't it, about the 3 p.m. blackout and the TV rights and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a game. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, 3-0 down, I was messaging you like, what's going on?
I was so fuming. I was so angry. I was just like, well, Lewis is definitely going to mess with me. Like, with 3-0 down at home to Luton.
I got a notification for 1-0, I was like, oh, okay, they'll still win the game. 2-0, I was like, oh my. And then 3-0, I was like, what?
Did you see my tweet at half time?
I did see your tweets, yeah.
I tweeted at half time saying we'd win 4-3.
Well, I tweet before that, it was like, I've always loved the Championship. I was like, oh, his head's fully gone.
Yeah.
His head's fully
At
gone.
3-0, I was like, yeah, I've always loved the Championship.
You're never going to go down.
Yeah,
are
we're not
you?
going to get down. It was a bit of a joke, but
Maybe next season.
yeah, no, that's not happening.
But, yeah, I mean, as good as Luton were, you were defensively,
I mean, yeah.
all over the place. I mean, for the third goal, Barkley kind of just ran through your defence.
I think it's because our CDM dropped in, because our centre-back came out. Our CDM dropped into the defence, and then our centre-back was like with Barkley, but I think he was trying to play him offside, but our CDM had dropped too far back. He didn't read the defensive line
And then
correctly.
even Neto for a few of the goals, I thought he should have done better there.
I think you've got to blame the defence more than Neto.
Yeah, but
I
it's
don't
kind of.
think you
It's
can
like
blame
he's just
Neto for
beating
them.
with power. Like he's not really in the corners. He's just kind of.
I mean, you could say the same about Kaminsky for our last goal because
Yeah.
he gets a hand on it, but it's straight at him and he just palms it into the
True,
net.
true. I mean,
But our defence
I would
was
have loved to have been a fly in the wall at half time in the dressing room.
it was like the shortest team talk ever. I think he sent them out like 6 or 7 minutes early.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously he's got power in that dressing room because he got a response, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think also the changes helped. I mean, people have highlighted it. He bought off Alex Scott and put Unal as number 10. He also swapped the centre backs around as well. So Zabani was playing on the right and Mepham was playing on the left because
was he right-footed, left-footed, or
no, it was because Chong was. I'm trying to remember what, because I saw like a tactic video breaking it down. I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was, even though Luton set up with a 3-back, they actually technically had a 4-back, and that allowed their right winger to like kind of play more out wide, which then gave Chong, who was in the middle, like license to roam behind Lewis Cook.
right? Okay. So he's on the shoulder basically.
Yeah, and he was playing like more to their left-hand side, our right-hand side. And Mepham, when he was playing on the side where Chong was, he's not the kind of defender to come out and follow his man.
Right,
Whereas
it's the same position.
Yeah, whereas Zabani is, and so he put Zabani on Chong to come out on Chong, and then had Mepham to be the one at the back.
I mean, you've definitely got to give it a bit of credit. He can definitely, tactically, he's very good, isn't he? He can definitely spot issues and fix them, which I like.
Yeah.
So I think
And when we scored our
tactically, you
equaliser,
can't-
instead of celebrating with the players or like celebrating with his like assistant coach, he celebrated with the data analysts. So
Did he? Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge now, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, how many did Semenyo get? Was it 2?
2, yeah, he's got 7 this season now. He's
He's a winger, right?
he's definitely our best winger.
Yeah. I feel like he scored quite a few goals recently.
Yeah, he scored.
Did he score against Sheffield United? Did he score the second? No.
No, he scored against Burnley. He scored the second against Burnley.
Oh, yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. He's finally coming to his own a bit.
Yeah,
we've got
he's
him-
stepping up, isn't he? And obviously, Solanke got you going with the first one. Cruyff
Yeah.
turn in the box, lovely little dink finish over Kaminsky. I mean, that started you off. I still didn't think for 1 minute you'd win the game 4-3 though.
I did.
That's
why I said it.
Is that Luton, or is that just you were confident that
Both.
it wouldn't be any worse than?
Both.
I mean, are you worried though that you're going 2-0 down to Sheffield United, you're going 3-0 down to Luton? I mean, it's great that you won the game, but I mean, are you
it's at home. We're terrible at home.
Are you
What
not
can I say?
worried that you're 3-0 down to Luton? I mean, how does that happen? They're a championship side, aren't they?
Well, we only had one of our first choice defenders playing. Might be why.
Okay.
Zabani. I mean, Mepham, he's not our first choice centre back by far. Senesi's way better than
Your
him.
bench was strong on Wednesday, though. I think you had Billing on there.
Yeah, attacking wise, we've got loads of.
Billing, Tyler Adams. And then
Finally, he
another
played and
midfielder.
didn't get injured.
Was the other midfielder I'm thinking of? Is it Alex Scott?
No, it was. I don't know who you're thinking of.
Yeah, but I mean, you bought.
Favour.
Could be, but I looked at the bench and thought that's a pretty strong bench.
Clivert, he was on the bench.
Clivert, yeah. Did he come on? Yeah, he came on.
No, he didn't.
He didn't even come. He didn't even use Clivert. Mental.
No.
But yeah, I mean, what an advert for the Premier League. If you wanted a reason to watch what's the best league in the world, just watch that game. I mean,
It's not even like 2 of the top teams.
no,
It's
two bottom half
yeah.
the
sides.
two smallest clubs basically in the league, like with the smallest stadiums.
Well, yeah, in terms of attendances and things like that.
And it was supposed to be like a big emotional game because of Tom Lockyer. He was there.
yeah.
All of that kind of stuff, and it ended up being one of the best games of the season, probably the best game.
Weren't you winning 1-0 when he went
No,
down?
1-1.
Or was it 1-0?
Yeah.
All right.
At half time, everyone was like, "Is it too late now to just take the 1-1 from early in the season?" Should we do quick go over the other games?
Yeah, I mean, where do you want to start?
Should we start with Brighton?
Brighton, yeah, 1-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a good win for them. I mean, didn't really score a goal. It was no own goal, but I think they just controlled the game, which is something they haven't really done for a while. Did the same last night against Roma as well.
Yeah.
So some couple of good performances back to back.
I mean, I saw I thought De Zerbi was proper celebrating at the weekend, so I thought it was a big win for him.
Yeah, massive.
I'm not sure whether he's feeling the pressure or he's.
He probably is a little bit. You know, they've had some tough results recently, so I think they just needed a good, you know, kind of comfortable win, and they got that.
But that was after the 4-0 to Roma as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah,
De Zerbi was definitely looking
more,
for.
You know,
I mean,
bit
Roma are an established European side. I mean, there's no real.
But I mean, that was just a shocking game from Brighton against Roma.
They've had a few this season, haven't they?
They've had a few.
Luton's another
Luton
one.
comes to mind. Yeah, they've had a few.
Yeah,
They beat us was it 4-2?
Yeah, 4-2.
At home?
Yeah,
I don't know how that happened. I really don't know how that happened. But
We haven't played them.
They were the better
home,
team.
yeah.
They were the better
by
team.
far
Yeah, they were.
in that game.
They were. But word on Forest, I mean, their Nuno bounce seems to be dissipating, doesn't it?
There wasn't really.
Yeah.
Was there really
They beat
ever a
Arsenal,
bounce?
they beat Arsenal, didn't they?
Little
No, they
bit of
didn't.
one.
Didn't they not?
No, they lost 2-1.
Oh, yeah, they did, didn't they?
They beat Arsenal last season.
They were 1-0 up, weren't they?
No,
Forest?
they
not?
weren't.
Were they
They were 2-0
What am I
down.
thinking of?
You're thinking of probably last season.
Ah.
But, I mean-
I'm sure.
Pretty sure it was Nuno's first game against Bournemouth and he lost.
Oh.
So there wasn't really ever a bounce.
Maybe they haven't had a bounce then, but
I mean, they drew against us.
yeah, they're
later as well.
3
so
points above relegation zone. They're right in there, aren't
They
they?
have Luton next as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Is
if they lose that,
That's
I
at
mean,
Kenilworth Road as well.
that's a huge game. But I don't know. Forest have got some good players, haven't they?
Luton, please win. I want Luton to stay up. I want Forest.
I
well,
do think the same.
They've got
I want Forest to go
Origi,
down more
Gibbs
than
White.
Luton
They've got
stay
some
up.
good players. Alanga. Like, that is not a team you think should be going down, but I don't know.
it's just disjointed.
It seems like they've
always
it
been
seems
the
like
same
they're a
thing.
team of individuals a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're not a team. They've not got a system of play which suits the players that they have. It's kind of, round holes and square
Pegs.
pegs. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the saying.
I was looking for the yeah. So pretty uninspiring game. 1-0 Brighton.
Own goal as well.
Yeah.
Own goal. Yeah. About Arsenal then. Another win, unfortunately.
You sound disappointed.
Yeah, I was. At 1-0, I thought that'd be nice to stay at 1-0, but I think the big talking point of that game was Ramsdale's mistake, isn't it?
Yeah. But he had a
Does
good game besides that. I
does
think,
that
but-
mistake happen if there hasn't been the whole controversy with the?
Yeah, because Ramsdale. That's why he's been replaced with Wright, because he made too many mistakes.
Yeah, I just think it's in his head. It's on his mind, that game.
Mm.
The whole I need to be perfect this game, otherwise.
Maybe, but it's just get rid of the ball. I mean, it's just simple, isn't it? He just takes far too long on the ball.
Yeah,
Don't know what he's doing.
I think other than that, he had a good game.
But obviously, we do know that he can't concentrate for 90 minutes, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably why.
He did make some good saves though throughout that game. He had a few,
He did, yeah.
a few good ones. It's just that I just don't know what he was thinking.
No, I think
and that he started that really good counter attack with his long throw to Trossard, and then Trossard kind of just the ball got caught under him as he entered the box.
I mean, that was the main talking point, I think, from that game. Ramsdale's kind of, cemented the fact in Arteta's mind that he's not the number one. I think that game, I mean, the one start he's had in however many games, and he makes a big mistake leading to a goal. I mean, it's not brilliant, is it?
It is his only goal that he's conceded in the league this season since he got dropped, though.
Yeah, but he's not played though, is he? He's not.
He played he played twice more against.
He's played a handful of games.
He played twice more against Brentford, didn't he? Because
What did he?
he played in the League Cup and in the league again, and they won both those games 1-0.
I think he'll be moving on in the summer.
Yeah, he's got to. He's got to
for sure.
I think so. I think the other talking point was Havertz. Havertz with the winner again, so he's definitely finding his feet there.
Should he
isn't
have been sent off for his dive in the box though?
I think diving's a weird one for me. I've not seen a dive for a yellow card in.
You mean a yellow card for a dive?
A yellow card. What did I say? A dive for a yellow
dive
card.
for a yellow card.
Yeah, I've not seen a yellow card for a dive in. I can't even remember. I don't even think refs given them anymore. When was the last time you saw a yellow card for a dive?
It was Ryan.
Was it Basuma?
No, it was Ryan. Well, last time I remember was Ryan Christie against you last season when we won 3-2.
I think Basuma got booked for. He
Which
got
was
sent off.
ridiculous.
Basuma
yellow card,
got
by the way.
sent off for a second yellow, which was a dive before Christmas. But
I mean, I think
refs are just refs don't want to give yellow cards for diving.
It wasn't a dive anyway. That's the thing. There was contact. Like obviously, it wasn't enough contact to give a penalty.
But there can still be contact, and you can still dive. Question is there enough contact to go down?
I think if the ref gives the penalty, VAR don't overturn it, and so therefore I don't think it's a dive.
I also think sometimes when the replays slow down the player, I think sometimes it can look like a dive, but in real time, if a player is moving at speed, I mean, I know from like experience, like if you're moving at speed, any little kind of tap or knock could potentially send you to the ground, because if you're if you're sprinting and you get a little knock, it can. But I think sometimes when they slow down, I think sometimes the VAR replay, it can look worse than it is, because obviously you're seeing it in times whatever speed, whereas you're not seeing it in real time. But that's the VAR debate for another
day,
for another podcast. So yeah, I think that was the talking point for that game. You had Palace Luton 1-1.
Very late winner, wasn't it?
Very late,
96th minute.
Massive point for Luton.
Cauley Woodrow, his last Premier League goal was, I think, almost 10 years ago.
I mean, you've got I think everyone's loved Luton this season, haven't they? I know I've enjoyed watching their games.
Almost every game that they're involved in is just good to watch, isn't it? Like,
yeah. But I mean, they shouldn't have been in the game. Palace were so wasteful. They should have won that game 3-4-0. So they were punished ultimately. But I think signs looking good for them under the new manager. I think he's installing a play style. They're creating more chances. They're looking more like an attacking threat. And
for a while there was like they might be in the talk of relegation, but I think with the new manager now they're not in it.
No, he's getting Elise and what was it?
Eze,
yeah, that's the one. That's so similar. Elise and Eze, he's getting them playing. I mean, if you get them playing, then I think you're a mid-table team, aren't you?
Yeah.
But there was a bit of we gave him a box. I think it was Elise. I always get confused who it was. But we gave one of them a box at Tottenham when we played them. So we're thinking which one, I don't know. But I think it was Elise. I actually don't know. I don't know who it was. It was one of them. But yeah, we're looks like we're in for one of them. Obviously, we won't take both, but I feel like we'll get one, and I feel like Chelsea might get the other one, or Man United maybe.
Yeah,
Man United have been linked to Elise quite a lot.
So, have they? Yeah. I think it was who scored the free kick against? Was it Eze?
Eze.
Yeah, I think it was Eze we're linked with. Yeah. And then you had Wolves Fulham, another win for Gary O'Neill.
Yeah.
Wolves up to 9th in the league. I mean, that's impressive, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But Neto went off injured in the first half.
True.
He can't seem to get a run of games, can he? Neto?
No.
Which is a shame, because I feel like if he did,
I mean,
he'd be guaranteed a move in the summer.
The Wolves squad is, I mean, the players that they have, they should be like, at least 9th.
Well, I saw, made a list of their injuries. Obviously, Neto went off in the first half. Chan's injured, who was doing brilliantly at the start of the season. Cunha as well.
Yeah. And
Kratos at the back. So the kind of the spine of their team is out with injuries, which is even more impressive that they're still winning games in the top half of the table.
You think all of those players are injured, and they've still got Sarabia, they've still got...
I know, they've got a good squad, haven't they?
Yeah, João Gomez. Is it João Gomez? Midfielder?
Yeah.
They've still got Kilman.
Is it Lerma as well?
Lamina,
yeah.
They've still got
good players.
Yeah.
So no wonder he's doing better than he did at Bournemouth. Then is that what you're saying? Is that the underlying?
But also, and I've said this before, he's becoming a better manager.
When you put it like that, when you put the two squads together, you there is a gulf, isn't there, in quality?
Yeah, but also, I think he's gaining more experience as he goes, and he's getting better and better as he goes. Whereas I think if he was currently at Bournemouth, would we be worse off? Yes.
You reckon?
Yeah, because he doesn't have the experience. He didn't have the experience at the beginning. I think he would be playing way more to just not lose rather than to win. And then I think some of the results that we did, like for example, the Luton game, I don't think we win that if he's not.
I don't think you're 3-0 down though.
Yeah, but I think that we go 1-0 down and he goes, okay,
Park the bus.
Pretty much, yeah. Park the bus and try and win a
We'll
corner and
never
get a
know.
draw.
We'll never know. Hypotheticals, Jake. Hypotheticals.
Yeah, true.
And then you had West Ham Burnley as well. That was one of the other games. 2-2.
Yeah.
They were 2-0 down as well. West
Yeah,
Ham.
and I think that's way more embarrassing than being 2-0 down to Sheffield United. Bournemouth being that 2-0 down to Sheffield United because
being
West
2-0 down
Ham,
to Burnley.
Yeah.
Like
West
that,
Ham, where are they in the league? Like 7th, 8th?
Yeah, they're in the
So,
Europa League spots, aren't they?
Exactly.
They're
like
just
it's
behind United, I think.
it's
But
it's,
did you see the first goal was a screamer though? Did you see it?
yeah. That
Was it Fofana? What a goal! Just hits it and just,
goal of the month's going to be interesting this month.
It is, yeah. But West Ham are a strange team. You never know what you're going to get from West Ham, do you?
Yeah, that's true.
I
I feel like they've drawn like most of. Every time I like think about a recent West Ham result, it's always a draw.
Yeah.
When was the last time they
Yeah.
won?
yeah, I mean, Danny Ings scored, didn't he? That was his first goal in over a year.
Yeah, I don't know
In the
why they
Premier
bought
League.
him.
What, Danny Ings?
Why did they buy that? Like
He was a good player back in the day. Wasn't
he played for
Played for
Bournemouth-
Liverpool, didn't
played
he?
for Bournemouth for a bit as well.
Yeah, he's been about, but yeah. I mean, there's a stat about Burnley. They've dropped 20 points from winning positions this season. 20
Wow.
points. I mean,
That-
if they'd held on to half of those, they'd be, near enough where Forest are.
Yeah, they'd be what 20.
Well, they on 14 points.
Yeah, it'd be 24 points.
Yeah, so they'd be in with a shout. They'd be right in it. But 20 points losing positions. I mean, that's if you go 2-0 up, you're not confident, are you?
Yeah.
If you're a Burnley
If
fan.
you're a Burnley fan, you're like 2-0 up, but probably. I mean, I feel like Luton fans would be the same now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So a point for West Ham. They're in 7th, and it looks like they'll be getting European football. I think maybe
yeah.
Conference League 8th.
What is 8th even going to be Conference League though?
I think so because I think it's going to be 1 to 5 is going to be Champions League, and then 6th, 7th Europa League, and then 8th will be Conference.
Yeah,
So I saw something that said that West Ham's win against Freiburg guarantees Champions League. But I don't know how that works. How does an English team winning in the Europa League guarantee?
well, because our European coefficient goes up.
But is there not? So is there only one European? There's not like separate ones for different competitions.
No,
just
it's
one
just
European
one
coefficient.
European coefficient.
Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, West Ham might have done us a favour then. But I still think we're going to get 4, so they might have done Villa a favour.
West Ham done themselves a favour.
Yeah, arguably. But and then you had obviously the Monday night game, Chelsea-Newcastle 3-2.
Pretty good game. Newcastle were pretty poor though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Should have been
I've got my
not as close as that.
thoughts on Newcastle this season. They've been shocking.
Yeah, you could say injuries and
Yeah, but
Fatigue.
everyone has in. Look at Liverpool. They
true,
went toe to toe with City.
but then Liverpool are just a better team. They have more. They have like
Yeah.
a better depth.
They are, but it's just I don't know. It's just like I said. I know Newcastle aren't. They're not even. They've arguably got in terms of their squad. What would we say their squad is like? Maybe the sixth best in the league, 6th, 7th.
Yeah,
So maybe they are whereabouts they are, but it's just maybe they are where they should be. But it's just the performances are shocking. It's just I don't
but then
know.
some of their performances are really good.
like what?
When they beat Chelsea 4-1.
Yeah, but that wasn't that last year.
I mean, it was this season.
I know, but it
But
was.
it was
They
earlier in
beat
the season.
PSG 4-1 in like November, but we're in March now, and
Yeah, but you said this season.
well, okay, yeah, they've had a few good results, but generally, I think they've been poor. There's been a massive drop off from last season,
But it was always going to be a drop off from last season. They were
Yeah.
never going to get
arguably.
Champions League football 2 seasons in a row, especially with
No,
Liverpool and Tottenham.
they did
becoming so much
overachieve,
better.
didn't they?
Yeah,
And then obviously, word on Chelsea, obviously 3 points against Newcastle, one of their direct rivals for 8th.
well, our game against Chelsea at the last game of the season is going to be a battle for 10th.
No, I don't think you'll be in contention for 10th at that point.
You think Chelsea will though?
Yeah,
Yeah, probably.
because isn't there?
We're going to finish 12th. It's going to happen. We're going to finish 12th
That wouldn't be too bad.
or 13th, one of the two. I just want a higher points total than our highest ever, which I think is 40
40.
something.
Well,
It's
you're now
40
35.
Yeah, it's 40 something. It's like 46, something like
What's
that.
that under Eddie Howe, is it?
Yeah. We finished 9th that season. We ain't finished 9th this season.
No way, no. Obviously, Mudryk scored as well. That'll do his confidence a load of good, won't it? Quite
Good
a nice
goal.
goal that went round the keeper, nice and composed.
How old is Mudryk?
20, I think he's 21, something like that.
Because he's not the youngest Ukrainian goal scorer in the Premier League. That's Zabarny. Scored against Luton.
How old's Zabani?
20.
Yeah, I think he's 21, 22.
He might be 21 now, actually, but he's like,
Mudryk.
if he is 21, he's recently turned 21. Zabarny.
I think in Palmer score as well.
I mean,
He got another one. He did
Yeah.
score, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think what I took from that is Sterling. I think they've got to sell Sterling in the summer. If I was Chelsea, if I was on that board, if I was Todd Bowley, he just doesn't look up for it to me. He just looks like he doesn't want to be there.
I'd take him at Bournemouth.
Would you? You take Sterling at Bournemouth, would you?
Well, yeah,
In
well,
place of Cliver.
well, I mean, I think he's the player that scored the most goals against Bournemouth in Premier League history, so that's why.
Bournemouth.
I wouldn't take him because I want to play him. I want to take him so he doesn't score against us. Because
he'd be on the bench for you.
he's scored the most Premier League goals against Bournemouth.
Would Sterling start for Bournemouth?
Yeah. Why?
Is that a question? Like,
No,
That's
I
not
thought-
even a
I
question.
thought you were seriously suggesting he wouldn't for a second.
No, I
but
was
we'll just clear that up.
doing it as a joke because he always scores against us, so I just
okay,
take him so
okay.
he doesn't score against us. That's the point. Because if he was on the pitch, he'd probably score own goals.
I
That's how
mean,
good he is at finding the back of
yeah.
balls now.
I mean, but in terms of Chelsea, seem to be kind of, they're still not great, but they seem to be setting out a little bit, finding a little bit of form. Would you say? A few more wins than losses now.
Yeah, but I mean, you could say the same about United.
Do you think
United are good.
Pochettino's there next season?
No,
You don't think so?
you don't?
no, not with their owner. He's just going to be like, yeah,
Mm.
not good enough. Get rid of him. Get a new one in. It's going to be a
Yeah,
revolving
but
door.
the transfer policy surely dictates that he needs time. They've brought in a load of 21-year-olds, haven't they?
Yeah, but is the transfer policy because of the manager? No, it's not.
No, but if you're an owner bringing in a plethora of young players, how can you sack a manager after a season?
Because it's Todd Bowley.
Maybe.
Like-
I'd give him another year. if it was me.
So would I, but I don't think Todd Bowley does. Give him another
No,
year.
maybe not. Maybe De Zerbi's in the Chelsea dugout, or
At this point, Brighton is just Chelsea's feeder club.
Yeah,
I think that's all the games, though, isn't it? I think we've covered all the
I think
covered
so.
all the games.
Yeah,
Another brilliant weekend.
yeah. And I mean, this weekend, not many games. So
No, I think Tottenham are the highest placed side playing. I think. You say United
yeah,
are
I
playing
think
on
so.
Sunday.
Yeah, FA Cup
Oh, FA
Yeah.
Cup. That's why then, isn't it?
and
we got-
City as
we got
well. I
knocked
think
out.
I can't remember who they've got, but
probably
We've
like
got Liverpool
Coventry or
now.
something.
yeah, we got Liverpool.
Oh, you're going
That's-
out, aren't
yeah.
you?
I mean, I've been expecting this since since the draw happened.
Is it
really.
away or at home?
I want to say it's away.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure it's at Anfield. Yeah,
Yeah, I can't see any
yeah.
world where you win that game.
no.
just fuming that we lost against Leicester to get knocked out.
Yeah,
I think we would have Chelsea away anyway, and we'd probably lose that. But
but
yeah,
you
it'd
would
be
have liked the
nice.
cup run this year, wouldn't you? I guess.
I mean, it'd be nice to see Bournemouth play football this weekend, but
Mm.
it's kind of just going to be dead.
What have you got to wait till now, like the 30th?
30th home against Everton, and we're going to lose that game because.
Really, Everton are terrible. I
But
mean,
we drew against Sheffield
They were 3-0
United,
down to Luton.
and we went 3-0 down to Luton. We're
But
going to lose.
This is Everton. I don't know. I don't see Everton scoring any goals at the minute, even against Bournemouth.
But we don't have defence. Our defence is just terrible. Well, I honestly am not confident. And it's also Everton as well. We always lose against Everton, or always struggle against them.
Well, we'll see.
We lost 3-0 to them earlier this season. We lost 3-0 to Everton. That's ridiculous. And it's away from home as well, and we're usually better away from home.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Everyone will have to tune in start of April to see,
Long time.
hear about Bournemouth's 3-2 comeback. But anyway, I think we'll wrap it up there. Yeah, we're going to do a debate on VAR now, aren't we?
We are.
Yeah.
So, I'm
That'll
sure
be a
that'll
fun
get a
one.
bit heated.
Yeah. So tune in for that.
Tune in for that, yeah. Thank you very much.